After finishing the presidential range in the Whites, I was eager to get out of camp early and accomplish as much as I could that day. Good morning! It's week 3 in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. People say everyone slows down in the Whites, but I'm like, this much? If you've watched more of my videos before this, I have a really good friend named Pac-Man on trail, and he's now 50 miles ahead of me in Smoke Master. It's hard on everyone, I think, but it's especially hard on me. That's what it seems like. But it's not raining. The ground is not all rocks right now. And I'm going by Pinkham Notch Visitor Center today. Gonna be a good day. After getting lunch, we hitchhiked into town to get groceries and supplies for our friend Zena's birthday. Smoke, you're gonna walk up the mountain like that?
With kettle and cake, yes.
Happy birthday, Zena! After a few hours and a hitchhiking adventure, it's back to the trail. Gonna go straight up a mountain after I have a whole bunch of groceries and I'm still very exhausted. At first, this stuff looks like glass. When you pick it up, it looks like a phone screen or some sort of wrapper or something. It feels like plastic, but it's all over this trail. I think it's something naturally occurring in the rock. Man, if it gives you any idea how slow I am at hiking in the Whites, Smoke Master was carrying a cookie cake and still left me in the dust. I'm sure he's waiting for me up ahead, but still, like, crazy.
Where the trail was coming from, and I knew no day hiker would hike that.
The snake is under the cake.
No way. Oh yeah, he is. Look at that.
Oh my
He
god.
does smell the cake. He's like, I want to celebrate Zena's birthday too.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
Is it a little gardener snake?
Oh my god, that is so cute.
Seek it.
Oh.
The gardener. It looked good.
It was delicious. It's good luck.
just after I passed that beautiful view, I found my friends just a few feet further down the trail, and we have a little stealth spot set up. We crammed 4 tents with 5 people in them inside this tiny little thicket, but it's gonna be good. And now we have this beautiful view to hang out, eat dinner, and celebrate Zena's birthday.
No, they can't.
Are they?
Oh yeah, hot chocolate.
Wildcat Mountain, peak number 1. I asked if I could go on the ski lift, but they said it's free to go down, but $21 to come back up. And so that was a little out of my budget, but I'm sure that would be incredible views.
She led me back to trail.
Sometime soon we're gonna be all the way up there, and when we are, we're gonna shout down to our friends here. Coming soon. Hey, Slug! I forgot to film the first time we yelled down to them, but they heard us and they hollered at us back.
I saw her when you guys got all ready. She just started to get all excited.
For the past 5 days or so, I haven't been sleeping well at night. Sometimes it takes forever to get to sleep. Actually, most times, now that I think about it. And then it's like interrupted sleep throughout the night. It's really hard because I am exhausted these days. Am I too tired to sleep? Or is it just I can't turn off my mind anymore? I've had problems with sleep my whole life, and for a while I wasn't on the AT, but now I'm back to it, so.
That's cool.
Fucking mouse line right here? Mouse line? I don't know, yeah, bag line? I'm just looking for
It's been a pretty hard day. Good to see a shelter again. Although I discovered I lost my tripod, which I used to film a lot, and I'm pretty upset with myself. It was really nice seeing a note from a fellow hiker that watches my channel. If you see this, thank you. I am trying to just focus on that, and I have one 4,000 footer left in the whites. And then I'm out of the whites, but southern Maine is also hard, so, you know. I've really been not crying over irrational things lately, and I was really impressed with myself. Like, man, maybe I do know how to hold it together after all. Well, I don't know if this is, I think it's pretty rational, but I'm chafing in a few different spots very, very badly today, and every step I take hurts. So I'm tearing up a lot. I have anti-chafe at the bottom of my food bag. I don't usually put it on because it only happens so rarely that I don't think to put it on every day. But when I need it, it's already too late. Oh, it hurts. Whew. Ouch. Here is the summit. I'm not up to climbing that. So just you and I will know that I have gotten as far as I'm gonna get on the top of this last 4,000 footer of the whites. There's still gonna be plenty of hard mountains coming up.
Damn winter bite line, didn't you?
I think one of those people up there should be Frank.
We should do something.
I've heard about the liners. It's been fine. I haven't had a single blister.
Very thankful for a good night's sleep, and it was a good morale boosting evening and morning to be back at a shelter with a bunch of thru hikers. Everyone's chatting. It felt like we're back to the vibes of the AT again, whereas they were a little different when we were in the whites. And by they, I mean the vibes. Anyway, I had such a rough day yesterday. Lots of chafing, lots of soreness. And right now, I'm still sore, and I put anti-chafe on top of my chafing wounds. I'm really hoping they don't start back up again. One of the main things we wanted to come in town for today was the Asian buffet, and it's closed. So, back to McDonald's.
You're on the Appalachian Mountain Trail mile, whatever. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
At the library, I worked on videos, and Smoke discovered a conversation about him and his kettle on Facebook.
Smoke Master is still on trail on the backside of Wildcat, 30 miles from Maine, and he still has the kettle. Just wondering, why does he carry the kettle after he just explained it? Someone said, Steve, is that you? Someone said, keep Ranger motivated to keep on keeping on. I'm trying.
After breakfast at Subway, we discussed how to spend the day. It was really hot. We were exhausted, so we ended up just getting a hostel. I was so happy to finally shower. Plus, we finally get a second chance to go to the Asian buffet. We went into town so I could work on videos, me and Smoke did, and our friends Queen of Hearts, Xena, and Habits were with us too. The day kept getting later and later. We went from hanging out in the library to hanging out at the park. Eventually we found somewhere to camp, and I think in the back of everyone's minds we were thinking, wish we would have just got a hostel so we could shower and have somewhere to put our stuff, just have a more restful space to hang out in. The next day came, and when I woke up I was thinking, okay, we need to get back on trail, because that wasn't really, we weren't meaning to take a Nero day like we did. So then they were waiting on something to get delivered, and everyone was just thinking like we could wait and then night hike, or we could just do what we wish we did yesterday, get a hostel, finally shower, get out of the heat, because it was a really hot day, and that's what we ended up doing. It was a hard choice because we are aware that we're very, very slow. The 5 of us, everyone started in March, and now we're around people that started in April. It was kind of a turning point for me, because before I was like, I'm slow, but I gotta keep pushing, gotta keep doing it, and now I'm thinking I'm slow and I don't care. The reasons I wanted to go fast was, 1, I'm scared of it being cold at the end of the trail. But since it was such a hot day yesterday, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be a cold year. That's just my guess, but that's what I'm thinking. And 2, just because of like the societal thing that faster and more achievement and impressing people more is the way to go. And if you want to go fast, that's good for whoever wants to go fast, but all the advice I've gotten about the AT is like, enjoy it, appreciate it, you'll miss it when it's gone. So now I'm like, okay, I'm slow and I don't mind. Yesterday was a great 0. Really enjoyed relaxing, being indoors, going to the Chinese buffet. This morning we had to get up early because the shuttle was at 7:15. Now we've just hung out for a little bit and back to the trail it is. This section, even though we're technically out of the whites, this section is still supposed to be hard. Still supposed to be some rugged terrain, so I'm a little nervous, but we're here for the journey. How do you feel about being at 1,900 miles?
It's not Katahdin, but it's a step closer.
You know, I made the birdhouse.
Walked about 0.5 and then took a little napsy on that rock. Now it's 12 o'clock. I wanted a slow start to the day, but now it's gonna be like, I don't know. I think slow is good, but you gotta move eventually if you wanna hike the AT. I went to the Privy this morning and I used a trekking pole as a cane to hobble along there. I am so sore. I was trying to get out early today because it's going to be a hard day. People say from here to the next shelter, it looks like it's just going to be really hard. Some folks say it's a lot of fear-mongering, but I don't know. I think it's also just people have had a rough time and they want to warn other people. And then those people might not have as rough of a time and they're like, hey, I don't know what the big deal was, but I have a feeling I'm going to have a rough time. I'm having a rough time already and I haven't even left the shelter. Just go through the mud, they said. It'll be fine. Meanwhile, this is knee deep. Oh man, the only way to move forward is to put my, should I turn back and keep this leg dry? One, two, three. My foot's completely stuck. I can't pull it away. Smoke!
What you need, Ranger?
I'm stuck in the mud. I might just have to go through it. There's one foot that's, yeah. Okay. One, two. Wow.
I know, huh?
Dang.
Again, I don't know. That section over there is really no way to get around.
I was lucky my friend Habits came along. You don't know what the trail is gonna throw at you sometimes. And now my ankle kind of hurts. I'm 0.7 from the New Hampshire-Maine border, but this is quite an obstacle. Like if you picture a giant half pipe and then boulders climbing up and down, that's what I have to do. Once I got down that steep part, climbing up wasn't as bad. And then it wasn't bouldering after that. So, thank goodness. What do we have here? Just another sign. Oh, just kidding! Here we are at the state line. We've come a long way to get here.
Hell yes.
Do you want to explain the significance of that kettle?
Yeah, I was hiking on Blood Mountain and this guy stopped me and said that I was carrying way too much weight and I wasn't going to make it to Katahdin with this kettle. And now I just made it in this Maine. It's about to make it the next 200 and whatever miles to Katahdin.
Maine, how unreal. I try to think of words, but it's just, it means a lot. We haven't finished yet, of course, but it's just the realization that we used to be in Georgia and we kept walking and climbing till we got here. It's crazy.
Yeah, I see that tree.
This is a lemon squeezer. Drop the poles.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drop
down.
Taking too many breaks caused me to have to get to camp after dark again. But at least it wasn't raining like the night before. Every week seems like a big week on the AT, and this week was no exception. Finally leaving the Whites, getting to Maine. Let's talk more about it. How I noticed the season changing is that where there's deciduous trees or little plants, definitely more yellow, orange, and red starting to show up, although thankfully it's not that cold yet, so fingers crossed. How the landscape changed, it was pretty much the same from the second week of the Whites to the third week of the Whites. Very similar. I haven't mentioned so far, I don't think, or mentioned as much as I should anyway, that there's a lot of really great views these days, especially when we got into Maine and then hiked up a really big hill. It was just such a panorama of just rolling mountains. I don't know whether you would call them rolling hills or rolling mountains because they are very large. But anyway, they're covered with pine trees and it just goes on and on forever. Whereas for most of the trail, when you look down, it was like farmland and small towns and stuff like that, which is cute, but it's nice to see just nature. What was going on with the other hikers on the trail? Everyone was really glad to be done with the Whites. Like I was talking about last week, not being able to find free, good, not on top of plants places to camp was really hard. And it just didn't have the same vibe as the rest of the AT, really. So people were pretty glad once that was done, although we know southern Maine is still going to be a big challenge. The hardness doesn't ease up yet. Also, we're at a place in the trail where the end is in sight. Crossing that Maine state line did not feel real to me, and I'm sure for a lot of people it's just so significant, no matter whether you're like, yes, or no, but it's significant for everyone. It's also about that time where people are starting to figure out how they're getting back to their home. That's a reality, a lot of mixed feelings. Last week I said the problem I wanted to work on was the same strategy I had throughout the Whites about wanting to hike hard when I could and accept it when I couldn't. I guess I sort of did that. It was definitely a hard choice that one day when it was really hot and I was like, I just can't go on. So that was a really hard choice because I know I am really trying to push, but it's just, you're never gonna get both things of what you want. So I guess I sort of accomplished that goal as much as I could. A problem I've been having is that sometimes when I'm taking a break or getting started in the morning, someone will say, 5 more minutes, or can we just stay, have 1 cup of coffee and then we'll go. And then I notice myself sometimes getting to my destination for the day after dark or something, and I'm like, man, I gotta not give in when people say 5 more minutes, and I know, no, I really need to go. I just need to not be as much of a pushover, which is a goal I've been working on my whole life, really. My favorite part of the week was once we got done with Mount Moriah, that shelter. There were a bunch of thru hikers there. Everyone was glad to be done with the Whites, and it just felt like the AT again, you know, sitting around, meeting new people, cracking jokes, there's a fire going. It just felt like the community vibes that I've been missing. My second place memory, if I can squeeze that in there, was definitely the night before Zena's birthday. It was so funny watching Smoke carry that cake up the hill, and then we had our dinner with a view, and then we ate the cookie cake, and then we looked at the stars, and it was just a perfect time. Those are the kind of nights I'm gonna miss on the AT. What I learned this week: first of all, I took my sit pad that I had bungeed to the bottom of my backpack and put it on top of my backpack. Because most of the time when I'm opening my backpack up anyway, I'm probably gonna want to sit down, and I hadn't been using my sit pad because I never felt like getting it off of the bungees. Even though I've been out here for 6 months, still learning new things. New way to carry things, new way to situate stuff, always something new. Another thing I learned, of course, what I was talking about, my epiphany with accepting the fact that I'm slow, that I'm below average speed. And when I say below average, that kind of has a negative connotation, I know, but I don't mean it mean to myself. It's just kind of factually below an average speed. Not in a mean way, just saying like that's just how it is. Another thing I realized, a reason why people want to go fast is because the more months, the more weeks you spend on trail, the more of a mental challenge that is, you know? The more days you'll have to wake up and put on wet shoes. The more days you'll be walking thinking about, oh, my pack is kind of wearing on me bad today. That's another thing why I understand why some people would want to go faster, but I accept that and I'm ready for it. Maybe if I was born into a body that was really good at walking long distances and not getting tired or achy, then that'd be different, but I am who I am, so that's okay. Bring on the slowness. That being said though, the first day in Maine was absolutely stunning. I still have a few more weeks left, or months, just kidding. But I still have plenty of time left to explore it. And I can't wait to explore it together. See you next time. Thanks for watching.